what it really means or what it takes, to be a leader.
Brick by brick.
Sometimes you'll have to make hard decisions that negatively impact people you care about. So they think it will impact them negatively, and it's our job as the leader to paint a picture for them in a way that doesn't appear to be negative, unless you have to let them go. And usually that's the hard decision that we have to make. And hopefully we chose wisely with those that we choose to surround ourselves with, where we won't have to let that many people go in our journey of entrepreneurship, management, leadership, all along trying to make the right decisions. And it can be difficult, right? So that's our jobs as leaders to help facilitate game plans and ideas and visions for longevity of the company. Most importantly, those that we work with. A lot of times those conversations aren't easy conversations to have. And especially when their feelings are involved. And, I'm a very empathetic person, and I try to think of them. I don't even necessarily try to. That's just where my head goes. I'm worried and concerned about their emotions and things like that. So I'm learning to become very creative. What I've most recently come up with is a lateral expansion, whether it's for the company, whether it's for their position that we're either trying to create or alleviate or expand somebody else's position within the company. It's our job to articulate that picture, that vision of like why it's important that they move into a different role, or somebody else needs to move into their position. It's hard. And the thing that people deal with isn't the pushback from the decision that you made due to change, because we all think that, we hate change. They would much rather stay because it's more comfortable. But what people are really dealing with is the feeling of loss. And we think it's just change that, we're fearing change, when really they're dealing with loss. And I think if we can be fully transparent, like, look, this isn't going to be easy. It's going to probably be tough, but also paint a picture of like why we need to do this and why it's going to have a positive impact on them and those around us. And I think when we take their feelings into consideration, right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm always concerned about people's feelings and how it may impact the company, themselves, their family, right? Especially if you're keeping them on board. And, I've been guilty of letting people stay within the company entirely too long, especially if they needed to go or not finding a better position for them that best suits them. And this could be selfish because I'm concerned about like how they're going to feel, probably more so about me, towards me, once I've broke the bad news to them, because they're going to suffer from loss. And it's no different than when we lose a loved one or we break up a relationship. We suffer from loss, right? And that's the same thing. It's not that we're necessarily going through changes. We're suffering from the grieving process that an individual will feel when we change things up at work. It's really no different. So that emotion, that feeling is the exact same feeling. So if we can help and be transparent, like, look, we're doing this to broaden your horizon in a different area of the company. We're relocating your position over here so you'll have more time to focus and have time, energy, and resources to this particular area. And we're going to bring somebody else in, whether it's, a lateral move within the company or we're bringing somebody in from outside. We will be disliked despite our best attempt to do the best for the most. We will be misunderstood. We will rarely have the opportunity to defend ourselves. And I didn't come up with this, right? I wish I could say that, everything that I'm talking about right now is something that I came up with on my own. A lot of you that know me know that I study a lot. Right now I'm studying Google Workspace. I'm reading probably too much at one time, but I'm reading again the Roofing Sales Survival Guide by our boy Adam Bensman. I continuously work on myself. I continuously educate myself, and I get very specific on where I'm at, where the company's at, what season I'm in, what season the company's in. And this is what's cool. When you are learning just as much from your team as they are from you, that's when you're developing a genuine culture, living with purpose and consistency, right? I'm consistently working on myself, self mastery, personal development, because it really all starts here. Figuring out like how I tick. Like I'm pulling that pocket watch out and I'm tearing this thing apart. And I want to see how the gears are working and how they're working cohesively together, with one gear missing, the other gears within that stopwatch or that pocket watch